Hello, I'm an artistic minimalist. This is my sketchbook. Of course, it's much too big for me, so I only use one sheet at a time. This is really key. You must keep everything simple. Here is my palette, a single pan of paint, and a very small brush. Now, I don't believe in using water, so instead I'll use my saliva to wet the brush as I paint and to clean it. I don't always clean it out very well with my saliva. But it's very important. You must be simple. You must keep in mind simplicity is best. And here is my finished artwork. Isn't that amazing?
Illustrations by Pete.
So before I get started, I just want to say this channel has been going for 2 years now. There was a couple of videos before that from a couple of years before that, but I don't count those. Since I've been doing every Monday releasing a video, it's been 2 years. And I just want to thank you all for watching and thank you for being a part of the channel. I'm excited where I am, and I'm more excited for where we're going to go with this. But so many of you have just become a part of the channel, and you're always talking to me and you're always giving me ideas, and I just appreciate that. Even if you're just saying, hey, that was a nice video, that's just wonderful to me. I really enjoy having the conversations with you, and I am having a blast. So we're going to keep going and see how long we can do this for. Okay, so let's do this now. I'm in a little bit of a rammy mood, so I'm going to rant a little bit here. So I don't really get what is with minimalists. I understand simplicity. I understand not, fighting against consumerism or over-consumerism or however you want to look at that. I get it. But this minimalism thing is like a cult. It's like the smallest possible palette. They usually have little makeup kits, and that's their palette. And, well, I want something very small to carry around with me. Are you that weak? A little tin that carries like 12 pans? That thing is very small. It's smaller than your cell phone. You can definitely fit plenty of paint in there, and you can actually have a choice and still walk around with it and carry it. It's only like an ounce or two. Don't worry about that. You can handle that. I know you're not that weak. Now, sketchbooks, I don't know. This size really, like 5x8 is probably the smallest anyone should ever go with a sketchbook. Because anything smaller, you're really not even making a mark on the page. It's just like you're and that's it. That's all you can do. That's what it sounds like when I draw. Now, I understand with paint, like I spend a lot of time picking out the colors for my palette. And in case you haven't realized, this is not going to be a video for someone who's actually just searching the term online. That's not going to happen. This is a video only for the die-hard fans of the channel who like to hear me rant and rave about nonsense. So, even with paint, when I go to pick my palette, there's very certain colors that I like. I don't mind going minimalist a little bit, like only picking 10 colors. Or even if you wanted to pick 6 colors and see if you can do that. I get that. I understand it. But I wouldn't put so little in a little makeup tin where you put one dab of the brush and you've soaked up all your paint. You can't make any more art after that. I want to be able to, when I go to my palette, there's always more paint in there. So I use the big full pans. I leave them as full as I possibly can. If I notice them even get halfway empty, I gotta fill them back up. But when it comes to other things in art, like pens, I have way too many pens. I need to get every size pen from that manufacturer. And if I find a pen size that I like, I have to then get multiples of that pen size in case one dries out and I want to draw one day. Or like colored pencils or watercolor pencils or the Inktense pencils or the Graphitin pencils. I'm one of those people that I don't want to get one color or 2 colors or a set of 12. I gotta get them all. I have to get every color in there because you know what happens, and this is not my fault. This is not me falling to consumerism. What this is the trickery of consumerism. They know that they take some of the best colors from that whole set and they only put them in the largest set. So you have to get the large set to get all the colors. People like companies like Arteza, they do that with their gouache. I love their gouache, but you have to get the big set of 60. They don't sell them individually. And if you get the other sizes, you're not going to get all the colors that you want. They only in the big 60 set, so then you run out and you got to buy a whole nother set of 60 because you have to get that one color that you're missing. Now I know with most colored pencils, most things, most paints and you can just buy them individually and just buy the ones you want. And with paints, that's what I usually do. With watercolor paint, the gouache, I try and do that too, but I use gouache differently. So I just get the white and mix it with the watercolor that I already love, and now I have all the colors that I love in gouache as well. So that's what I do. But I think I'm like an artistic maximalist. I like to put as many details in my art as I possibly can, with as many different things that I'm using as I can. And I love these kind of paintings and line and wash stuff. I do a lot of these, and I keep doing a lot of these because I enjoy them. But really the key for me is the details. If I'm not putting details in, these bore me. If it was just the painting part, I would just throw it away. It would not interest me at all. Just the paint, it's nice, it gives some texture and whatever, but I want the ink in there. I want the details. I want to put as much as I can in there. And sometimes I don't put as much as I can, but I put a lot in there. Now, I do like a lot of detail, so sometimes I will go way overboard, and I've done that several times. Like in this piece that I'm going to show you right now, this piece I put way too many details in. I just detail after detail after detail and just kept going, and that's what I wanted to do for this piece. That's a maximalist thing for me. I tried to use as much as I can instead of as little as I can. And I usually don't do the minimalist thing when I'm doing art. I did maybe one or two pieces where I just did very little. Most of the time I don't like that. I like to put as much as I can into it. And there's a little side rant. Just because I want to mention this somewhere in a video, and I have not done it yet, or at least I don't think I have. I'm a little jealous of sea lions and seals and things like that, because they're maximalists. Nobody looks at them and says, "Oh, you're fat." No one says that to them. They may say it to me, but they don't say it to them. And they just, oh no, they have this layer of blubber that keeps them warm in the water, or that keeps them warm in the Arctic cold air, and it insulates their body. That's exactly what I'm doing. It's why can't I say that? Why can't I say I'm not fat? I have some layer of blubber that insulates me from the elements, because I like to keep a low electric bill in the winter, so I don't want to turn the heat up too much. So I just put on a few pounds, and that's what I'm doing. And have you ever seen someone who's really, really fit? I mean, sculpted, no body fat. And then they get a little sick, or they get a little cold, like a bad cold. Maybe they get a bad cold, or they get like the flu or something, and they're laid up in the bed for like a week and a half. And everyone that I know that's that fit, when they get sick, that's what happens to them. They're in bed for a week and a half. But me, protected by my layer of blubber that my body can feed off of for that little bit of time, I get sick, and the next day I may go to McDonald's, because I can do that, and I can get right back up, and no problem. My body has plenty of energy to feed off of when I don't feel good and I'm not eating. I'm fine. I won't starve. I'll be okay. So maybe sometimes minimalism is okay. Like, you see people in these tiny houses, and I don't mind little campers and things. You're gonna go on a little trip, that's fine. But to live in a little tiny camper where you basically can't, you have to like lay down in your bed, because if you sit up, you'll hit your head on the roof. That's not okay. I can't ever imagine being comfortable in a space like that. It's like living in a vehicle. And I almost did that once, so we'll talk about that another time. But anyway, I don't understand the minimalist thing. I know it's all about but even in the minimalist, what is it all about? Consumerism. Because even as a minimalist, there are things that are catered specifically to you as a minimalist, and you have to get those things. Either way, you're getting things. There's never a time when you're not getting things. People relate consumerism with money, but really, Consumerism is consuming. That's what it is. That's what we do. We have to do certain things in order to live. We have to eat, so you have to consume food. Unless you're a breatharian, and those people, they're only breatharians for a very short time. Because if you're not eating, you're not around very long. But the whole point of this is that people are extremists. That's what they do. And that's really the key to anything, is that we are extremists. I know when I was younger listening to music, and my friends would, they would listen to the band that was the hardest, or the band that played the fastest, or the band that played the slowest. There's some heavy bands that play extremely slow, and almost painfully so. But it's all about the ists. It's all about the most extreme that you can be about that thing. There's very few times where people are just level, just even about everything. Most people, they want, okay, if I'm going to do this, it's going to be the most this or the most that. So they get into this little minimalist thing. Most of the people I know that are involved in this minimalist thing, they spend more money than anyone else I know because they have to do all the minimalist things. Though I don't do that, I buy. Then they have to throw out half the stuff they have to buy the lesser of the stuff that they don't have that they want to say they're a minimalist. And I believe in some of the minimalist stuff. Like, I don't ever want to tie my shoes. I don't mind shoes that you don't have to tie and you could just slip your feet into. I have no problem with that. I prefer that. I am definitely, when it comes to my shoes, or the tying of my shoes, I'm a minimalist, for sure. But there's always those people who are the maximalist with those things. And they have laces that go in and out and in and out and then wrap around the back and then they come up in their little curly cues and they do all that stuff. There's always an ist with humans. We're always trying to be the most ist we can about something. Look at how people talk about cooking on the grill. Oh, I put this thing on the grill and I let it smoke and simmer and cook for 16 hours straight. It's the softest thing you've ever seen. It falls off the bone. It's so delicious. It's always that way. People tend to always have that ist thing. Who can be the fastest onion chopper on this show? Who cares? Chop the damn onion and throw it in the pot. But no, we got to do the fastest. We can do it like this, and and it's a skill. It's an art. It's an art form. It's an ist. That's what it is. It's an ist. Just like an artist. It's a skill thing. It's who can be the most artist of all the artists. And you'll even hear people, you're not a real artist because you do this, and this is not real art. The art that I do is real because I'm an artist. And I'm the most artist and this kind of artist, and this art is the most kind of art. And your art is the least kind of art. So my rule is, I try not to be an ist. I try not to be on either end of the spectrum, even though certain things I am with certain things, and that's just who I am. But I try not to be those things. I don't want to be an ist. I don't want to be the most of this or the most of that. I just want to do what I enjoy, have fun with it, meet some people along the way that also have fun with their art, who aren't trying to convert me into their ist. And those are the worst kind of ists. The ists that try to convert you to their ist. I don't understand it. Let me do my thing, and if you need to be on the extreme ends of anything, that's your business. You need to do that. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and face that and deal with that monkey on your back. I just want to do what I'm doing and have fun and enjoy myself. So stop trying to convert me into your ist. And I think artists are very guilty of that. I've mentioned it before, but I'm going to say it again because it's worth saying again. Those people that are like, oh, your type of art, there's no skill in what you're doing. You need to do this kind of art because that's what a real artist does. This is what real kind of skill is. And they're just trying to make it seem like they're a bigger ist than you are. And to those people, I will kindly ask you to go suck a lemon. See if you can be the best lemon sucker that there ever was. And leave me alone here. Let me do my thing. And that's how I want to live. So thumb up the video if you're tired of the ists and you're just going to do whatever you do the way that you want to do it because that's how you do it. Alright, that's about it for me. I'm going to go, and I'll see you in the next one.